Alright, this is Shane, and it's gonna be the seventh lab. Also, it's the second lab for FEM part. And let's open the file we created from last time. So you want to find your same file, okay? And you can set the file type to same. And okay, I think I have that open in the background. So I'm gonna close that. Don't save. Okay, open the file. Open the same file. So you have the same, and we can double click the FEM file. Okay, now we are in the FEM. You can also tell from the top. Okay, so let's see what we got here. This is what we have done from the last week. We have the 3D mesh, 2D mesh. Okay, and we didn't mesh the screw. Um, So this for this lab, we gonna assemble the mesh into a whole piece, and first we gonna use three hinges. Okay, it looks like a hinge, so we're gonna use RBE2 C bush to connect those three holes together. So gonna connect these two pieces. Okay. And the other type of connection is we turn on the screw. First is the top of this screw to the connector. The connector is going to sit on top of the screw, and it can rotate on 3 degrees of freedom, but there's no translation. So that is one connection, and here the screw actually um, when you set up a distance of the screw actually bolt to the handle. So for here we're gonna use an RBE2 spider to grab this whole piece of mesh onto the screw, so it's like a rigid connection. And for the screw itself, we are not going to use the CAD. We actually use C bar as we did before for the beams, and we're gonna use this circle the area to define the cross section. So the CAD model doesn't really matter. All right, and the last part is going to be the gluing between the jaw and the jaw handle. So we all know that these two pieces are actually welded together. So in the NX we can use a command called surface to surface gluing. Okay, we're gonna glue this piece and to the 3D piece. Alright, so the gluing is going to be in the same part. So it's gonna be the last. Okay, let's start with the 3 hinges. Okay, um, first we can turn off the part we don't need. Okay, and that's the handle B. Okay, handle B. We're gonna keep this two piece. Okay, so here first we're gonna create 3 spiders on those 3 holes. Okay, and then we are going to create a beam or a C-bar element between the top and the bottom spider. So it's gonna mimic the rivets. So after we create that beam, there actually when you create the beam, there is a node in the center for the beam. So we're gonna connect that node on the beam to the spider on the connector via a C bush. That way we can mimic the the mechanism of hinge. Okay, So first we're gonna create spiders. That for spiders we need a center node for those holes. Okay, so to find the center we need the polygon. It's gonna be, we're going to turn on the polygon middle face for this two piece, and we can use insert node create. Okay, and here you can snap to the first hole and wait for the little icon on the right bottom side of your cursor. That's the center of arc. Okay, so you click once. That's the center of the top circle. And click apply. There, that's your center node. Okay, then we do the same for the center and the bottom circle. And here you can click it OK. Okay, if you click apply, like I did, you should click cancel. If you click OK now, you will add another node at the same spot. Okay. Alright. So I just click the cancel after I did the apply. Alright, so we have 3 nodes for 3 spiders. Let's create the spider. So you want to choose 1D connection, and it's going to be node to node. Okay, RBE2, new collector. Let's do it from the top. Okay, so for the top, again, the center node is the source, and the target is going to be those nodes on the edge of this polygon. So we can use some trick. We can choose related nodes, and here filter we can set to polygon edge. So that means we are going to pick the nodes that's related to the polygon edge. Okay, so by picking up this polygon edge, when you click, you can see those nodes related to the edge are picked up. So we have 8 nodes here. Okay, and it depends on the size of your mesh. Probably you will have more or less, but it should be all on the edge. Okay, and we can click apply because we're going to create another one. Okay, so I'm gonna create another one also on the handle first. Okay, so again, the center is your source, and the target node is gonna be on the edge, and we use related nodes and polygon edge as a filter, and that's the method. Okay, then we pick the edge. Okay, there's 8 nodes, and here we want to put these 2 spiders of the handle in the same collector. Okay, so you're gonna uncheck this here, put them in the same collector, and I'm just gonna click apply. Okay, now we have 2 spiders for the handle. Okay, I can turn off the handle and turn off the polygon. Also turn off its spider. Now we're gonna create the third spider for the connector. Center is the source. The target is on the edge, and it depends on which method and the filter you pick. Okay, and now I'm picking the polygon edge, and here pay attention, we want to create a new collector for the connector, and you don't want to mess up a spider on different parts. Okay, and I'm just gonna okay, sorry. Alright, so we have 2 collectors. The first is for the handle, and the second is for the connector. Okay, and we can do some modification on the display. Go to edit display, and the lines are very thin, so we can choose a thicker line and also a different color. Okay, you click on the color, you will see the different colors. Alright, now you can clear and nice. Alright, then right click on the second collector. That's the spider for the connector. So we can use the second color, which is red, and a thicker line. Okay. Alright. Now let me turn off the mesh. Okay. Now we have 3 spiders. The pink ones are for the handle, the red one is for the connector, and they are connected. And now we want to insert a beam between the top and the bottom spider. Okay. So first, you want to insert a node at the center of this spider, and use this node for the beam. So later on you can have a place to connect your spider to. Okay. So let's insert a node in the center first. Okay. And you want this to be inferred point, so you can snap the center of the spider. Okay. So insert a node here, and let's hide the red spider which is on the connector. Okay. So now we have a free node. This node does not connect to anything yet. Okay, now I'm gonna insert a C-bar through the center of 2 spiders and this node. And you later on use this node to connect to the spider on the collector. Okay, the red spider. Okay, let's insert 1D mesh. Okay, 1D mesh, and it's gonna be C-bar. Okay, and you can pick from here, or you can do insert element create. It's the same. Okay, so here we can. Oh, I guess it's not the same. It's not picking up the center of the spider. Okay, 1D mesh. So you can use insert element and create. Okay, then in this dialog box you can choose 1D, and it's gonna be C-bar element. Also, automatic creation, yes. Alright, so let's pick the nodes or points. The center node of the spider to the free node. Okay, that's the lower half of your beam. And now make sure it's on add to existing mesh. So this way, the beam is gonna be a whole piece with 2 sections. But if you use create new, it's gonna be 2 beams, and they're separated, they're not connected. Okay, so make sure it's on add to existing, and pick the node in the same manner from bottom to the top. And we're done here. Click OK. I'll close. So we have a bar between the pink spiders, and the bar is anchored to the spider because we pick the center of the spider as the head, the end, and the start of the beam. Alright, so next we're gonna connect this beam to this red spider. We are going to use a C-bush, so we can control the stiffness between this connection. Okay. So if you see here, the node is gone. Well, it's there, but it's not displayed. So we can go to Preference, Model Display, and the marker type, we change that to star. Okay, asterisk something. when you click OK, every node is going to be a star. So it will be annoying if you look at the whole model. Okay, see, it's like hairy. But for now, it's convenient for us to see. Alright, so we're going to insert a C bush. So we'll go here, insert, element, create. Okay, again it's 1D, and we're gonna choose C bush. Okay, so also it's a new collector, and we're gonna select the point. We're gonna select first from the node on the C bar element, okay, to the center of this spider. We can turn off the C bar. So click here. Alright, so it's created a C bush collector. Okay. Actually, you don't have to hide all the things. You just you know, when you have this bean and the spider on the screen, you can, when you're in this dialog, you can just click here, click once and click twice. Okay, see how many nodes, because there are only 2 nodes there. So just make sure you don't have any extra free nodes at that spot. It's gonna be very painful to have a lot, you know, free 2 or 3 coincident nodes at the same spot, and it's all messed up. Alright, so we have created the C bush to connect the spider to the C bar or rivet. So see, let's edit the display first. So because we cannot see anything there, we can turn on the text. Okay, and when you click apply or OK, you will see SP, which is stand for spring. Alright, so SP, that means there is a C bush. And the next is we want to assign a coordinate system to the C bush because it does not have one. So it's just weird, I don't know why. And in this box, you can click enable the coordinate system override. And usually we choose absolute system. So now it knows where is X, Y, Z. Okay. Oh, oops. Alright, next is the stiffness of this C bush. You can right click on the collector and click edit. Then we go for the monkey wrench again. Alright, here we can define the behavior of this connection. So if you look at the coordinate system, this hinge only rotates on Z rotation degree of freedom. So we can give the other degree of freedom a huge number. I think it's yeah. So 10 to e to the 7. Control C. I'm gonna Control V to all the other degree of freedom. But the last one, Z rotation. Okay, because this the red spider can rotate on this C bar element, which is Z rotation. So I'm gonna put 0 here. Okay, so that's how you mimic a hinge in real life. Then we click OK. All right, so we are done for the first hinge, and one thing is when you make this kind of connection, there are a big chance that you will mess up because the coincident node, you have 2 nodes at the same spot. right? One the free node, another one is on the spider, and you want to connect to the two coincident nodes together. So you're not sure if they're connected or not. So we are going to use some checking command to check if they are connected. Okay, so the connection order is from the, let's start from the connector. Okay, so from the connector to the spider, then the spider to the C bush, the C bush to the C bar, then C bar goes to two spiders, then those two spiders goes to the handle. Okay, so that's also the way we're gonna check this. So we will leave the red spider on the screen, which is from the connector. Okay, and then we're going to use the command called show adjacent. Show adjacent will show the element or the node that's that connected to this the object you pick. Okay, so we pick the spider first, and if you think, let's say what will appear. What should appear is first the element around this spider because they're connected to the spider, and also the C bush because the C bush is connected to the center of this spider. Okay, let's try to click apply. Alright, you see the element that are connected to the spider, and also the text SP showed up. Okay, that's your C bush. Okay, now let's select the C bush, which is a element, and you can hover here to see which one is which. Okay, so 38 is your C bush and 35 is your spider, so we choose the C bush. Now what will show up? So we picked up the C bush, which is connected to the spider, but it's also on the screen already, so nothing will change. But also the C bush connected to the C bar element. So when I click apply, we will expect the C bar to appear on the screen. Now let's click apply. Okay, then that shows the C bar. Then later we can pick a C bar to see the spider. Then we pick a spider, we should see the element goes up. So that's the process how you check this kind of connection. Okay, turn off. And if you want to see them again, you have to let them show up and turn off, show up. Okay. So that's the first hinge, and we can do the same to this too. There are little bit differences here because the center is it's a 3D mesh instead of 2D mesh for the connector. So how do we connect this kind of hinge? So basically we just switch the red spider in the center. Not really switch, just when you create this spider, okay, we're gonna use the center node to grab the whole surface in this hole, the inner surface of this hole. So the spider is going to grab the whole thing inside this hole. Alright, let's start. Okay. So also, if you remember, the first collector is for the handle. So now we can create some spiders and also put them back in the collector for the handle. First, we need the polygon to find the center node. Okay, so handle B, and that's gonna be the jaw. Guess the jaw 1. Okay. Okay. It depends on your naming on this kind of part. All right. Again, it's the same. Insert the node for the center of your spider. So it's the arc center. Okay. And go to the back. Also arc center. And now let's hide the handle first, as well as the polygon. We can even hide the 3D mesh because we only need the CAD for the center node. So we need a node in the center of this hole, not on this surface, not on the bottom surface. Okay. So here we're gonna use different technique. Okay. So you want to click here the point dialog. Okay. And we're gonna choose between 2 points. This is a method. So between 2 points, between the top point and the bottom point of the center. Okay, so first point, I'm gonna pick the center of the arc on the top, and maybe I can show you the wireframe. Okay, and the second point is gonna be the bottom. So I just rotate. So the bottom center of the hole. Now you can see there's a node in the center. That's the position of our node. Okay, you can define the location, the percentage of location. Usually we just use the middle. Okay, click OK. Now that's gonna be your node. Then let's click OK. There is a node, and don't click OK or apply. Just cancel this. Alright, we have 3 nodes here. Now let's turn back on the mesh, and well, let's do the spider for the jaw first. And I'm going to turn off the polygon. Okay, so as you all know, the center is going to be the source, and the only difference is the face. Okay, the cylindrical surface will be the source. This is the will be the target. Okay, let's do it. 1D connection, RBE2. So the center is the source, and go down to the target. Let's try a feature angle node. So that means when you pick a element, okay, if the element next to it is within the certain angle, then it's gonna pick the neighboring element too. So if I pick this, and that element is within, say, 30 degrees or 20 degrees, so they're close to a plane or close to a surface. Okay, they will pick the element next to it. So if I pick this element, and the top element is actually 90 degrees, so that's a big angle. So this method will not pick the element with such a big angle. I try to pick this face. Nice. So they're all picked up. Okay. And click apply. And that's easy to check because you will see the spider is really like spider nets. Okay, from all the nodes on this surface is going to be grabbed to one point. Okay. Also, I want to mention that the feature angle node said within certain degrees it's gonna pick up the element. So how much is the degree? Here is you can define the degree, smart select options. When you click on this arrow, okay, there is a tolerance. So this means if this element is within 30 degrees of that element, then X is going to pick them up, and it didn't pick the top because that's 90 degrees. So if you have a hole, let's say it's less circular, you can modify, play with this angle. Okay. Alright, so we have the center spider, which should be in a new collector. Okay. And we can edit this, edit the display, maybe to the third color, which is orange. Okay, and make it thicker. Click OK. So that's the center spider, and we are going to create the two spiders on the handle. Okay, let's turn off this and turn off the spider. So these two spiders are basically the same as these two. Excuse me. So I'm not going to talk too much on this two. Okay, click here. RB2 center to the edge, which is related node. Okay, and then polygon edge, and turn on the polygon. Apply. Well, okay. Source, target, and I want to put in the first, which is for the handle. Apply. So you see the difference. If you put in the first collector, it will follow the color and the line thickness. Okay. So, but the top one I forgot to put them in. So you can drag this mesh, drag them to the different collectors. Okay. Now it's empty. I'm just delete that. So the first collector has 4 spiders for the handle. Alright. Now again we have the spiders, and we're going to create a beam for a C-bar element to mimic the shaft or the rivet. So let's turn on the center spider, which is messy. Okay. Then we insert a node for the connection of the C-bush. Okay, try to grab the node in the center, and you can rotate to make sure you didn't grab anything different. Okay, click OK. Alright, there is a node in the center now, and let's turn off the spider and you will see it. Okay. Now let's insert the C-bar element. Insert element and create. Go to C-bar, pick nodes or points. Okay. So we want to create a new. We don't want to add this C-bar to that C-bar. Okay. So make sure for the first section it's going to be create a new C-bar, and let's see, should I put them in another collector? Well, they're all for the, yeah, we can put them in the same collector. Yeah, looks like they're the same diameter or whatever. So the same collector for the C-bar, but different mesh. Okay, so start from the bottom to the center. Then now let's go back to add it to exist. So this one is you want to pick carefully. Okay, then the first 1D C-bar is for it's out of the screen. Okay, for the first C-bar. So the third one is for this part. So we're gonna add this next section to the third mesh. The number might be different, but you know what I mean. Okay. So now if you click here, the bar collector, okay, so you can see different C bar, they are highlighted. Alright, next step is the C bush to connect from this node to the big spider. Alright, let's go insert element, create. Let's choose C bush. Right, so now this time let's try to put them all on the screen and try to snap them. We don't like this. Okay. Alright. See, since there are only 2 points, 2 nodes in the center. One, then you connect another one. Okay. And where's my C bush? Alright. I accidentally put them in one mesh, so it's not good. Go back. Okay. Undo and let's do this again. Insert element. Create. So here you want to create a new mesh for the C bush to differentiate from this C bush. It's the same as the bars. You don't want them to be under the same mesh, then they're physically one thing. So it's obviously it's not true. Okay, so create a new mesh. We can keep them in the same collector because they have the same rotation, the same degree of freedom. It's all on the 6th degree of freedom, which is a Z rotation. Okay, so select this node and select the center node. If you remember the number of your node, okay, then you will know clearly. Alright, so we have 2 mesh here, 2 SP here, so you can see it clearly. Here we have 1 SP, which is the number 4 SP, and number 2 SP is here. Okay, also don't forget to assign the coordinate system. Alright, that's good. Automatically override. Okay, it's always good to check. And since they are in the same collector, so they are all shown the text here, SP. Okay, next step, we're not done yet. Check the connection again. So turn off everything. Just show the spider first. Oh, we can check from the other direction. We can start from the top spider, which is on the handle. Let's do show adjacent. Click this one, apply. So we have the bar, okay, and the element on which connects to the spider. Okay, then let's try to click this bar, see what happens. So this bar connects to next bar and the SP here. So next we're gonna click the SP, the C bush, okay, and you can, if you cannot pick it up, you can just hover, see which one. Okay, this one, and click apply. We should see the spider from the big spider. Okay, that's good. Then we can see if this C bar has connected to the spider, which is okay. Alright, that looks good. And just double check on the other side of the first hinge. Okay, the spider. Okay, half the C bar, and another half of the C bar, and also the C bush. Alright, that looks good. Hide and hide. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We have the 1D connection and 2D, 3D. We have two hinges now. Okay, so the third hinge is going to be the same as this one, and I'm just going to skip this in the video. So okay, I have created the third hinge, and just to show you the checking process. So let's turn off the 3D and turn off everything. And where's my C bush? And we can start from the RBE2 on the handle A. Okay, let's start from the bottom spider, from the handle. Okay, then show adjacent, apply element, also the C bar element, and click the C bar. There goes our the top bar and the SP. Okay, which is the C bush. So let's select the C bush, then apply. That shows the spider. So connection is good. You can go and check some more. Okay, so that's your 3D texture. Alright, so also you want to rename your collectors well. So let's see, let's turn on everything here. Okay, and so after you do the adjacent check, you probably need to turn on, turn off, show the whole thing. Okay, so yeah, that's why I said turn on the display of the nodes is kind of annoying. Anyway, let's see what we got here. We have the RBE2, the spiders on this handle, which is handle B. Okay, let's see where they are. Right, maybe this matter. Okay, let's turn off the nodes. Turn off the display of the node. Alright, so still 1, 2, 3, 4. That's those 4. Okay, and RB2 on the collector. That should be this one. This one. And that should be the C bar element. Okay, the bar element on handle B. Okay, and this is the first bar. Turn off the bar. That's the second bar. You can see this one. Second bar. The C bush here. The first the C bush. Second one here. Let's turn off the spider first. So there is a spider on RBE2 on the lower jaw. Okay, first one. Alright, and the C bush on handle B, the second C bush from handle B to the lower jaw. Alright, then that's the spider on the other end of the lower jaw. And we have two spiders on this big handle, which is handle A. Turn them off. And the bar collector is this one. Okay, maybe I should change the name to bar on handle. That is off, and the C bush on handle A. Okay, so far we have 3 hinges, and the next step is we should create the screw. Okay, so let's turn off the mesh. Okay, turn on the screw, cat screw. So basically it's another C bar, and as you know, the C bar we need a couple nodes. Okay, first we gonna use the top, the bottom, and top. Okay, and turn off the cat. Alright, so we also need another node for the purpose of grabbing this piece of mesh through a spider. So let's see, we probably need the cat, okay, for creating the node. See, there's no. Alright, so we can use the 3D cat. You see there's a circle here. Okay, we can use the inner face to create a node in the center of this cat. Okay, let's insert a node. Okay, and click here, the point dialog. Again, we're gonna use between 2 points. Okay, then the first point is this center of the arc, and the second point is the center of arc. Now you can look at the position. Okay, that should be our node. Click OK, and you can see the node from here. Let's turn off the cat and turn on the mesh. So first we are going to create a spider, not the C bar, because if you, well, I guess the order doesn't matter. But let's create the spider first. So we can create the C bar to the center of that spider. Spider and RBE2 center node is the source target. So because this is a face, so we're gonna use a feature angle node. Just pick any face. Okay. See, apparently the tolerance is too big, and you want to deselect. Press shift and click on the same place. Okay, and we're gonna play with the angle here. Let's say that's very small. We can try 10 degrees. Okay, and then let's pick this face. So seems like it's too small. 15, and pick someplace else. Still not big enough. Maybe 20. Alright. Okay, my bad. There's the easy way to do it. A lot easier. No method. And F8. Okay. I don't have to be F8. first turn on the wireframe, adjust to about this place. You know, we just manually pick them up and select all the nodes here. Yeah, it will say you just pick the source node. Don't worry about that. Okay, so it will exclude the source and check if the nodes are selected. If everything is good, just new collector. Do we need a new collector? We do have a RBE2 collector for the handle A, so we can put this mesh, this spider to RBE2 handle A collector. Then we can click OK. It's kind of nasty, but it's magic. Okay. Alright, that's the way we want it. And the next step is the C bar. So the C bar is going to be insert element create, and 1D C bar. The collector is going to be a new collector for the screw, so you can just rename here. Click this button. Okay, you can say bar for the screw. Click OK, and create new. Yes, let's start from this end to the center. So to avoid picking up the node on the handle, just hide those. Then go inside. It's only one node there. Okay. So next you want to make sure it's add to existing, which should be this one. Okay. Mesh 7 bar screw. Okay. Bar screw and mesh 7. From here to the end of the screw. Click OK. So now this C bar and the spider is rigid connected because you created the C bar based on the node on a screw, on a spider. I'm sorry. All right, so let's show the handle, and we have the C bar here. We can check the connection between them. So turn off the handle, turn off the spider. Okay, leave only this element. Let's check by using a show adjacent. When you click this, okay, it's a section of the screw. Just apply. See, that shows the spider. Now when you click the spider, it should show you the element on the handle. Okay. Alright, so turn off that. And next is the connection between the connector to the screw. So this is your screw. Okay. Alright. So we need the C bar. We can turn off the RBE2 on handle A. Okay. So now it's we're gonna connect this perimeter nodes to the screw via another C bush. Okay, because you want some degree of freedom. So first thing, we need a node for the spider. Okay, you don't want to use this node. And again, I'm gonna show the nodes so we can see clearly. Okay, connector. Alright, so first we need a spider, need a node for the spider. Insert, node, create. So we want a node right on top of this node. Okay. Now we want to make sure when you create the spider, you pick up the free node. So we're gonna hide these C-bar element. Now you only have one node on the screen, one free node on the screen. Let's insert the 1D connection and RBE2. Okay, and the collector is going to be we do have a collector for the connector. Okay, RBE2 connector, and the source again single center, and the target is going to be the outside this shape. Okay, just pick them by hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's 5, 6, 7. Should have 7. Depend on the size of your mesh. Okay, and we click OK. So this way we grab this end to this point. Then we use this point through a C-bush connect to the screw. Okay, and we don't have to change the color because it's in the collector already. Okay, now let's show the C-bar screw. Okay, then we're gonna insert a element, create 1D C-bush. Okay, and the collector is going to be a new collector. Okay, so we can rename, and it's gonna be C-bush on the, let's say, on the screw. It's actually between the screw and the connector, but name it whatever you want. Okay, and let's see how many nodes here. 2 nodes. Okay, from 47 to 45. Okay, then we have a C-bush here. Edit display text. Okay, show text, and here we are. And how do we check? So again, we're gonna turn off the connector, turn off the spider on the connector. Where is it? Here, and also turn off the C-bush. We only have the C-bar on the screen. Then we show adjacent, click the bar, apply. Now that's the C-bush between the bar and the spider. So next we click the spider. The C-bush. Okay, it should show you the spider should pop up. That's the spider. When you click the spider, the mesh will show up. Okay, that's all good. And so now we have connected pretty much all the connections except the glue here between this to the jaw. Okay, and also I think I still missed something. The be careful of all the C-bush. Okay, you want to make sure they all have the coordinate system. Okay, this one, that one. Okay, and also they all have the stiffness. Okay, so for handle B, which is the smaller handle, the hinge can rotate on Z rotation direction. Okay, and next is the C-bush on handle A, which is this one from the from where to where? From the lower jaw to this handle. It also rotates on Z rotation. So let's check the stiffness. Okay, we can actually pick the same stiffness from the C bush on the handle B, first two hinge. So let's try to pick them up. Look at the number, it's Z rotation. Of course they're the same because they're the same property. Okay, so we can inherit this property from handle B. Okay, and also you want to make sure this one has the coordinate system. And let's see, the last one is screw. Screw first, we want to make sure it has coordinate system, and the second we want to make sure the stiffness. So here the stiffness is different. Well, it's supposed to have a monkey wrench, but you can click create a physical. Okay. So now for this connection between the connector to the screw, okay, we're gonna eliminate all the translation, but we're gonna keep all the rotation free. So 1, 2, 3 is 10 e to the 7. Okay, Control A, Control C. No Control A. Okay, Control C, Control V, Control V. So we have 3 translation fixed, and the rotation is gonna be free for X, Y, and Z. Okay, done. Click OK. So we just make sure all the C bush, they have the coordinate system and they have the correct stiffness matrix. Oh, stiffness, not matrix. Alright, so 3 hinge. This one is fixed to the handle, and here it's a rotation. All 3 rotations free through this C bush. Okay, and I think next is the bar. The bars we haven't give them any dimensions, the cross sections. So we will leave the cross section for now. We can always come back and give them the section later. Okay, and you can also do it yourself. It should be the diameter of, for this bar, it should be the diameter of that hole, and these two they should be the same because these 2 holes are the same in diameter. And this the screw, you can we will give the number to you for the next lab. Okay. Alright, also you can measure the CAD. You can measure from this CAD. Okay. Alright, the last one is the glue command. Okay, we can turn off all the polygon, turn on the 2D mesh, turn on 3D mesh, and probably we're gonna show nodes. It's clean up. Alright, so let's go to the scene for the glue command, because the gluing command is in the same. So now we are in the same, and we want to glue this the top jaw, okay, to the big handle. Let's expand this FEM part. Okay, remember we are in the same, but we can still hide and show the parts in the same, in the FEM, or we can show and hide the mesh. Okay, we don't want those. We don't need all the 1D connection, and we want to hide handle A and B. So we can deal with this 2 part only. Okay. So glue is it will create a connection between these two parallel or two smooth surface, and it will transfer the stress to make the stress continuous, and also maybe I'm not sure, but maybe deformation. So about this, Dr. Zada will talk to you. So I'm just gonna show you how to create the glue between these two parts. So the glue is here, surface to surface gluing. Okay, so gluing is simply make them one piece. Contact, it's more developed, and you can define the contact condition, and you can have nonlinear conditions. So it's out of our scope. Let's do a gluing for this two piece. But first, since this is the 2D shell, okay, so when you glue, you want to make sure you want to pick the top or the bottom of the shell. But now you don't know which side is the bottom, the inside or the outside, you don't know. So let's go back to the FEM. There is a command you can check called 2D element normal. So if you remember from, I think from one of the homeworks, okay, we checked the normal, because when you pick the triangle elements, you want to make sure you pick them up in the same order, like clockwise or counterclockwise. So anyway, we use 2D element normal, and we can pick this 2D mesh, alright, and display the normal. So the normal is going outward. That means the outside surface is the top surface. The inside is the bottom. So both is bottom. Well, this is not. It's not a good word. So the lower surface of the outside and the higher surface of the outside is also both the top surface of the sheet. So the inside surface are the bottom surface. Okay, it all depends on the normal. Then let's go back to the same. And here you have to pick them manually. Let's go for the surface to surface gluing. Okay, and in this window you want to choose manual. We're gonna manually pick them up. So it's like a spider. You have the source and you have the target, and here the source and target doesn't matter. So basically we're gonna glue this two pieces together. Okay, so first for the source, we're gonna create a region, and same as the target. So when you click this button, here goes the region dialog box, and you can give it a name, like I wanted the source to be on the jaw. So let's say jaw, and it will be the top. You can say it's Z plus. Okay. So you see here, we're gonna pick the top of this overlapping area on the jaw to the bottom of this the handle. Okay, so jaw Z plus, and see here you can pick the top or the bottom. For 3D mesh, it's always the outside surface, so you always use the top. Okay, so now let's pick the element. This is kind of tricky, and I have tried that a couple times, so I'm gonna show you the best way I think it will work. So first we want to pick the overlapping area, so we're gonna ignore those elements on the edge, okay, or they're facing the face that's not parallel to them, or not very ideal. Okay, so we're gonna pick this the 3D element under this face. Okay, and I'm gonna pick from the boundary, and you can see from the top. You want to pick a boundary which is underneath this sheet. Then you know you can pick all the element to the left. So let's rotate a little bit. So we're gonna manually pick them. Maybe this. Okay. So this will pick the whole texture. It actually goes underneath your surface. So later on you can see. Let's see. And you can always check if you pick the proper element. This is just a approximation. Okay. This one is too much outside, so you can press Shift and click that again to deselect this element. And I'm gonna select this, select that. Okay, I'm not going to pick that element. Pick this one. It's this. So this whole piece is underneath the sheet. So I'm going to pick them up. Alright, so I have picked the boundary of the overlapping area. So now let's turn off the 2D mesh. And you can see this is the rightmost element you want to pick. So let's pick the other element one by one. I think you can, I'm gonna ditch those. Just use those element that's in the overlapping area. Okay. And if you look at the side, it actually picks into into the solid piece. So I think one of them is not very good. But let's see. Okay, that looks good. So we're gonna glue this element to the top. So that's the region for the top and for the source. That's the source region, and we're gonna create a target region. Go back to the handle. Okay, F8, and it's relatively easy to pick. So let's create a region and name it as handle. It's on the top. It's on the Z plus direction of the handle. So let's see, Z plus. And here you want to make sure it's the bottom. So this will be the bottom of your 2D sheet mesh, which means it's the inside surface of the handle. Okay. And now let's pick. So I'm gonna, couple ways you can pick. You can pick them one by one, but you probably will pick the element underneath this. So I'm just gonna, pick everything here. Then deselect, because we can always, turn off the hide something, show something. And those on the top are not parallel. It's on curve, so probably don't need them. But let's pick them all first. Okay, and then you look at here, F8, and I don't want any element on 3D part. So one way you can hide the 2D collector. Okay. Now you press Shift. When you hold the Shift, you deselect. Just box select this, then you just deselected the 3D mesh. Let's turn the handle back on. Okay. Also, I don't want to select the element on the lower half of the handle. So again, we press Shift and the box select. Okay. Now we only have the element on the top. Then we can modify which one you want, which one you don't want. Okay, F8. I'm gonna press Shift, so it's gonna deselect, and I'm gonna clean up the element that's not overlapping to this area. Okay, maybe we can keep this one. And also we want to deselect those elements that's not perpendicular, not parallel to the bottom. So again, press Shift, deselect those. Okay, and check again. Look carefully about which one you're picking up. Okay, now it looks good, so just click OK. Now we have the source and the target, and let's click OK. Now you can see it's like it's gluing the bottom to the top. So the arrows are from the bottom, and those big ones are on the top. Okay, so that is one gluing. That we also have to do this for the other half. Okay, and since it's basically the same, and I'm not going to do it here. Okay, so that's pretty much done for this lab. Okay, that's everything we have here. So we do have homework for this lab. Please submit a couple screenshots for at least 3 screenshots for one screenshot for the hinge, and one screenshot for the screw part all the way to the connector, and another screenshot for the gluing. So we have 3 screenshots, and the last one is a overall screenshot for the whole piece, just like this. Okay, so 4 screenshots for this lab homework, and we're done today. Thank you very much.